Assalamu alaikum. Today we are making this delicious, gorgeous date cake with caramel sauce. So over here I am using about a cup of pitted dates, which I'm actually packing them just like that. And I had about 163 grams. You can go up to 165. And I put it in a bowl with a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda is going to help soften the dates, and then a cup of hot boiling water. And to this, which is totally optional, I like to add instant coffee. Coffee enhances the flavors of the dates, but it's totally optional. Then I keep it aside for about 10 minutes while I work with the rest of the ingredients. And in my bowl over here, I have about a quarter cup of brown sugar and about 6 tablespoons of butter, soft butter, which is about 80 grams. Just gonna cream this for a few minutes. And before I add the rest of the ingredients, I like to scrape the bowl to make sure that everything is mixed and combined evenly. Then I added a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which is totally optional, and 1 egg first. And then we're going to mix this well before we add the next egg. So total, I've used 2 eggs. This is a very simple and quick cake. Once I finish mixing this, I'm going to start working with the dates. And you can use a blender, you can use a food processor, or you can use a hand blender like what I did. And what I'm looking for is basically a simple, thick date paste, just like that. And then over here, I added some salt to my egg mixture. I use kosher salt. You can add it to the dry ingredients, that's fine. And then I used 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now the flour is about 180 grams. Just gonna mix this quickly, just like that. And then I add the paste as well, the date paste. And you can actually use the hand. You don't need to use a machine for this, but I had to use a machine. For some reason, my right hand has been really hurting me lately, but otherwise I really prefer to use my hand to mix the cake so that it's not overworked. Now this cake is a lighter version of sticky date pudding, which I have cut down the dates because my kids, they used to love it when they were younger, but nowadays they don't like the sticky date pudding, so we just make a date cake. So I've got my oven ready at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 176 to 180 Celsius, and this would bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. And I used the 8x8 inch pan. This is a very quick cake, you guys, and I hope you'll try it. It's a quick, last minute dessert, especially when you have unannounced guests. We Swahili have a lot of unannounced guests. Anyways, so I'm going to spread it well, just like that. Make sure it's even. And my cake went into an oven it baked for about 22 minutes, exactly to be precise. Then once it's ready, while it's still hot, I poked it with a fork. You can use toothpicks, it's fine. Then I poured the salted caramel sauce. Now I have shared the recipe in my previous video. I will also put the link in the description box below. Now for the sticky date cake, mostly they use butterscotch sauce, but we're using caramel, so this is a total different cake altogether. So we're just going to let it cool for a while, and it's best to serve this cake while it's still warm. That's the best part of it, because I think it's a winter dessert, but in my house we don't go for, with seasons. We just have whatever dessert we feel like. So, of course, in winter, I do use cinnamon or nutmeg to add to the flavor profile. So, as you can see, it's beautiful, and we're ready to serve. And it's always served with ice cream. Okay, vanilla ice cream. And if you want to add some nuts, some pecans or walnuts, that's absolutely fine. And we're going to pour the caramel sauce on the top, and this is salted caramel, but you can use just normal caramel sauce. Thank you all so much for watching. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar. You'll find all the ingredients and measurements in the description box below. Bye-bye.